Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. I'm called Maureen. We'll begin with our top stories. Emotion fills the atmosphere at the Yaoundé General Hospital mortuary this Friday as Territorial Administration Minister Paula Tanganji, the governors of the Centre and Southwest regions, friends and family members bid farewell to the divisional officer of Ekondo Titi, Indian Division of the Southwest region, killed by unidentified arms group last March 2, 2022. And 3 presumed gang of kidnappers have been dismantled in Yaoundé. The men who are said to have kidnapped a 17-year-old boy at the Soa neighborhood, demanding a ransom of over 60,000 francs, 60 million francs CFA. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. Emotions filled the atmosphere at the Yaoundé General Hospital. A mortuary this Friday as Territorial Administration Minister Paula Tanganji, the governors of the Centre and Southwest regions of Cameroon, friends and family members bid farewell to the divisional officer of the Ekondo Titi Indian Division of the Southwest region of Cameroon, killed by unidentified gunmen last March 2, 2022. Timothy Abula begins his last journey as he will be buried in his native village. More in the following story.
Honored this Friday to a brave soldier who surrendered at his best, the divisional officer of Ekondo Titi, Indian Division of the Southwest region, Timothy Abula, prematurely sent to his early grave by unidentified armed group. The administrative authority, Minister of Territorial Administration Paula Tanganji, mobilizes the others at the mortuary of the Yaoundé General Hospital for the coffin this Friday. Outbursts of Minister Atanganji.
He will rest in peace, but the terrorists who have killed him and those who are instigating all these acts will never rest in peace, because there is divine justice, and we are confident in the victory of good over evil.
Sad and emotional atmosphere, especially to the family and loved ones who finds it difficult to digest the situation. The head of state's comfort message to the family.
The head of state, President Paul Biya, has given instructions that we should accompany the family with the financial assistance, and he will be decorated posthumously.
Described as a seasoned administrative officer, brave, courageous, and devoted, always updates hierarchy on happenings within his area of jurisdiction on a daily basis. The day of his demise, he was on duty.
And you can see that on that day he was going on a sensitization campaign to tell the population and the terrorists that enough is enough. You have killed too many souls. You have committed atrocities. You have destroyed public and private property. Enough is enough.
An unforgettable gift as he died on his birthday, the 2nd of March. He was among the 7 persons killed following a mine explosion set on their path by the separatist group. From the mortuary remain was taken to the Our Lady of Victory Cathedral. Timothy Abolowa will be laid to rest Saturday at his native Boalondo village, Balamba, here in the Central region.
4 young men involved in the forging of public documents in the Grand North of Cameroon have been arrested and detained by gendarmes in Gaoundéré in the Damawa region of Cameroon. They were arrested following a tip-off. Details on the story with a reporter, Gladys Ambu Tiba.
The suspects, aged between 26 and 30, include an IT expert, a middleman, a staff of the Ministry of Finance, and a tax agent. They have, for the past 4 years, been forging fiscal documents that have been circulating all over the national territory. They were arrested after their secret was leaked by one of their customers who was intercepted by gendarmes in Gaoundéré during one of their routine checks. He declared that he had paid for the documents precisely to one Mr. Jamuldin Adamu, who seemed to be a support staff at the finance department in Cliquez. We had him on phone and he confirmed he established the document in partnership with one Mr. Isimbi, who is a staff of the Tax Center for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises in Garoua. An out-of-station investigative request was granted to gendarmes by the state prosecutor in Gaoundéré to permit them carry out proper inquiries in Guidé and Garoua.
Tous sont passés à l'aveu et nous ont conduits dans un secrétariat.
We were taken to a secretariat which belongs to one Ngwenze Sami. We noted that it is an activity they have been carrying out for close to 4 years. Their work materials were seized and their vehicle impounded. They have been accused for forging public documents and the embezzlement of state funds.
Three presumed gang of kidnappers have been dismantled in Yaoundé. The men who are said to have kidnapped a 17-year-old boy at the Soa neighborhood demanding a ransom. Haisencha completes that story for us.
He declared that
these are the three supposed kidnappers, all below 25 years old. They stormed the residence of their target at the Soa neighborhood in his absence Friday, breaking Saturday, April 30th, bundling out his 17-year-old son to captivity, demanding a ransom of 60 million francs CFA. I spent 24 hours of my life that I will never forget. I went for a burial. I was later called and informed that my son has been kidnapped. They had a list of all my 9 family members and even the 3 dogs. They demanded 5 million per head, that is 60 million francs. I told them on the phone that a normal Cameroonian cannot afford that. Unfortunately for them, the National Gendarmerie was immediately alerted and the culprit cracked down within 24 hours at Colbison, Yaoundé 7.
Informed by the family, we sent our local unit on the field, and later on, thanks to the professionalism of our collaborators and the technical tools at our disposal, we were able to put hand of those members of this gang, 3 of them. And what is very interesting in this case is that no ransom will be paid.
This is the car used for the operation that night. The driver explains that he discovered himself while in the middle of the action. The guys hired me as a driver, saying they were going to collect their money. I later discovered the boy in the car. At a point, I couldn't figure out where we were going to. I stopped the car and started asking questions. One of them gave me 500 francs to take a bike and go back. Presenting them to the media this day, it was an occasion to caution parents to intensify the security of their children. While they remain in custody to answer for their crimes, the gendarmerie elements continue the hunt for 2 of the gang members still on the run.
And the people of Ndonga Mansun Division in the northwest region of Cameroon have benefited from a free health campaign by elements of the Rapid Intervention Battalion, the B. It was an opportunity for the people to test themselves from different pathologies. More on the story with our reporter, Saleh Sharifa.
At the entrance to the Nkambe District Hospital, a banner has been floating for the past days announcing the free life-saving health consultations organized by the Rapid Intervention Battalion, B, of the Cameroon Army.
I decided to come and register so that I can at least have my own, know myself better, know my eyes, how it looks, so that I will not have any problem in future.
We have gynecology consultation, we have pediatric consultation, we have general medicine consultation, we have ophthalmology consultation.
According to authorities, the choice of Nkambe to benefit from these health largesse is linked to their option for peace in a turbulent northwest region.
This cooperation, this collaboration, which B has brought under the their maxim of the military and the population, it will go a long way in Dongamantu.
Without health, you cannot do nothing. This is why the priority for us is the health.
Whether at the ophthalmology, general consultation, or the maternity amongst other departments, the Nkambe District Hospital stands to benefit as the B has donated 2 more incubators to the nursery.
The government has done a lot to provide equipment and personnel through the efforts of our Honorable Member of Parliament, Tamfomin Gala Gerard. A lot still needs to be done, and we have been assured that the process will continue.
Though the people of Nkambe feel deprived of medical facilities due to the insecurities on the Nkambe-Kumbo Road stretch, they now see this 3-day health campaign as their own manna from heaven.
The non-harmonization of vocational training programs in Cameroon has been described as a hindrance to the success of students across the country. The workshop to evaluate the state of progress of the work relating to the modalities of certification training programs and vocational qualification titles wrapped up in Douala today. More in the following story.
The lack of harmonization of training programs in vocational schools across Cameroon remains problematic, affecting both equity and quality education.
Before now, a lot of things have been going haphazardly. That is, every person develops his or her own program and does the way he or she wants. But with this harmonization, it is going to kind of put everybody on the same wavelength, so that professional training in Cameroon should pass at the same level.
This workshop holding in Douala, May 5, aims at validating texts laying down the modalities for the approval of vocational training programs and professional qualification titles. Experts will present progress of work related to the modalities of the certification of training programs and vocational qualification titles.
The Prime Minister took some of the decision or some decrees to implement that law, and the activity of today goes in the line of that implementation. That's why we are here to put our energies together, to work together in order to organize homologation or our certification, in order to let all the actors, all the stakeholders in this platform on vocational training to use the same tools in order to really build skills needed by the private sector.
Financed by GIZ through support of rural development in cotton regions of Cameroon and the green innovation, the approach also aims to develop the internal and external efficiency of vocational training systems to bring it into line with international standards.
The Yaoundé Gynecological Endoscopic Surgery and Human Reproduction Hospital, Cliquez, has launched the second phase of the in vitro fertilization, which targets the delivery of zoo babies. The launch of the second phase is coming after the first phase that marked the successful implantation and delivery of over 300 babies. More in the following story with our reporter, Beatrice Ngamo.
The birth of this baby boy launches the second phase of deliveries via in vitro fertilization, launched by the Yaoundé Gynecological Endoscopic Surgery and Human Reproduction Teaching Hospital, Cliquez in Yaoundé. The baby is the number 5, delivered under this new series of having some 200 babies in the next 2 to 3 years, launched May the 5th, 2022.
We need 195 baby born, maybe let's say 2025, 24, 25. And I'm sure that we're going to achieve this objective as far as this technology is concerned.
This is in line with the mission of this fertility hospital to guarantee women the best condition for procreation in their natural role as mothers, conduct research activities in endoscopy and human reproduction, and provides high-level care in gynecology and obstetrics via medically assisted procreation, in vitro fertilization, IVF. The case of this 33-year-old mother who came with hidden infections, which was detected by in-depth tests, and after thorough medical care and follow-up, she is a proud mother of a baby boy today. The task, challenging but very enriching and satisfactory, as the joy of the mothers is their strength.
And the Memorandum of Understanding and Reception of Preliminary Feasibility Study for the construction of the music palaces to enable Cameroonian artists excel in the performance and bring back a Cameroonian music has been signed this May 6. This between the Cameroon Musical Arts Corporation, SONACAM, and the U.S. Integrated Trade Finance in Yaoundé. More on the story with our reporter Udmu Usumi.
The signatures for the construction of music palaces in 3 major towns here in Cameroon, Yaoundé, Douala and Bamenda. One of the campaign promises of Francis Atte, the chairman of the board of directors of the Cameroon Musical Artists Corporation, a provisional model comprising of 3 buildings with modern artistic equipment.
A project that will permit us to construct concert halls of the last generation with interchangeable podiums, lighting system, cameras, all linked to 3 major recording studios of the last generation, which will permit Cameroon artists to record works that are competitive.
According to Atebazor, it is a project fully advantageous to Cameroonian artists.
Give that kind of infrastructure that will permit Cameroonian artists to excel in their performance, and that will bring Cameroon music back to the limelight.
A project being financed and technically supported by the American Integrated Trade Finance.
I'm very happy to say that ITF is ready. All our financial partners are ready. The technical partner, Leo et Dali. And we are happy because the U.S. government, through their embassy here, is giving us all the necessary support so that we make this project happen for Cameroon.
Structures to enable Cameroonian artists excel in due performance and so bring them to the lamplight.
And that report brings us to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language in Canal International. We have news in the French language at exactly 19:50. We are Len Shislen Kanga, but coming up next is the brief with Mark Shramwa. So we'll be back same time, this time around on Monday. Good night.